Okay, hey folks, so Mordheim City of the Dams brought out its latest patch content, version 0.17.4.2, and I'm joined here by Suicide Squad.
Hello there.
And we're going to have a quick talk through with the new features and hopefully show off some of the cool new stuff. We'll probably do like one of our usual heated matches against each other soon.
The rats need their revenge.
Yeah. That's what you like to think. First off, they have finally brought out. Right, XP's not in it yet, but they're now bringing out a new max rank warbands. So all warbands are available to start at rank 10 if you want.
So you will need to make a new warband and make them rank 10. It doesn't rank up warbands that you already have created. So, as we're going to see here, Ryan's going to create a new warband. Which warband are you going to...
Who should we go for? Mercs, Cult?
Go with the Cult, because that's what you like playing, so...
I like the Mercs as well, though. We'll go...
Yeah, so we've got the Cult here. Here you see the options. You can pick either rank 0 or rank 10.
Obviously, this is only in for the moment during early access. Now, they've brought out a whole new skills and spell system. There's 3 new maps. There's new music from the hideouts for each warband.
Something about backtracking as well, which I assume means that you can set up so when you guys move, you can move them back. It seems to be able, you can set up that they can only move back a certain number of times, which is definitely a cool feature.
And a new big thing for them, they're now running on the latest Unity 5 engine. So you can now set to either 32 or 64-bit version depending on your operating system. It does supposedly bring a few weirdo bugs, according to the way they've described it, but the game's overall stability is increased, supposedly. So we're going to have a look at all this kind of stuff in the next few days. But for the moment, as you can see, this all kind of still looks usual. But
let's jump in and have a look at the skills.
So as you can see, you've still got your usual squad size and stuff like that. I think we'll have a look at this boy over. So okay, here we go. So we've got like unspent points to spend on various things.
So obviously this guy is a spellcaster, but also kind of melee as well. So
it looks like we can just bump up his stats. Depending on what we want to do. We've got 14, 18. I think it's dependent on faction, dependent on each character and stuff like that.
Now, the possessed will have mutations at some point. They are not implemented yet, however.
Okay, so where do we pick the actual skills again?
Right, well, you got your skill thing with the cross swords there?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we've still got our usual passives and stuff like that.
Now you can see here some of the skills do have requirements, so you may want to have a look at this before you select your stat points.
So it looks like there's going to be a gold cost to them eventually, and you've obviously got your skill points to spend, so we seem to have 30 unspent ones. Okay, so that's just saying active and passive. Is there... Oh yeah, there is a difference.
Yeah, I think you can also, at the top there, you've got your different types of skills.
Ah, yes. That's kind of cool. So as you can see, folks, it looks like, at the moment, I think, obviously, these pricing will probably change drastically. I don't think we're going to go through every single skill.
Well, since you've got a spellcaster, the spells might be quite fun to look at, which I think may be on the spell book in the next page. But some skills I assume will benefit spellcasting as well. Now, if you see that little symbol over there, that is you mastering that skill or spell.
Ah, so we've actually got a whole bunch of new spells and stuff as well. That's really cool. I think I'm gonna need to spend hours toying around with this,
Yeah.
and you're gonna fucking hate me.
I just can't wait till I get Fireball on the Mercenary Wizard.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that's why like. Oh yeah.
I might actually have to start
I ca-
using the Skaven Sorcerer as well.
I can't believe how excited I am about this patch. Honestly, it feels like Christmas this bloody week. GTA Heist, Mordheim's brought amazingness to the game again. A bunch of other stuff as well. Oh, too much choices, not enough time to play them. A few other. Can you think of anything else we should really be pointing out quickly here?
Not really.
Items.
Oh yes, the new equipment.
Yeah, this is cool.
If you make a rank 10 warband, sorry, you've currently got purple equipment. So for your armor and your weapons, and they are a lot more effective than your standard armor. You can see here with the light armor, with the basic white light armor, you've got stuff against casting spells, climb, leap, jump down. But if you see on the purple on the right, it just gives straight up damage absorption, so it's taken away a lot of the negatives,
That's really quite cool.
and it's also a lot more damage absorption.
Now, obviously, I think the way they're working it as well is, see how they're coloured purples? I think these are going to be like items that you'll find in the chest and stuff.
Or
So I don't think it'll be a case of, oh, I've got this guy at max level, I've instantly got epic gear.
or when they implement, say, the
store.
like the store and the smuggling operations.
Yeah. I think basically I've got a funny feeling they're going to have different coloured items. Like they'll probably
Yeah.
have like green, blue, purple, orange, that kind of. But for the moment, we've got some cool kind of stuff, you know. So I mean,
If any of you are familiar with WoW, you know purple is the good stuff. So some of the general changes they've added. The climbing chance. There used to be an extra 6% and 12% penalty on climbing of 6 meters and 9 meters, and fall damage will also bypass armor correctly. Speaking of which, armor absorption and bypass is now in percentages rather than just straight up numbers. Switching weapons, instead of just 2 movement points or strategy points as they call it, it's now 2 strategy points and 1 offensive point. So no being able to switch to weapons and immediately do full attack. Your ranged weapons have taken a bit of a hit, especially on the mercenaries, because they were a bit overpowered, as I'm sure a lot of you will agree with. Your base chance to hit with ranged weapons has been reduced back to 75%, was mistakenly up to 90%, and increased the minimum shooting range to 5 meters rather than 4 meters. Now, as Ryan here is showing you, the blunderbuss, the cone effect now is implemented. So when you fire it, it will affect multiple targets in the cone area, and it will block some offensive skills.
I'm really excited with the idea of the blunderbuss being added. Cone effect weapon.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just thinking crossfire, a couple of blunderbusses set up, and just, everything coming down a certain alleyway is just going to be turned into putty.
Now, your mercenary warlock has lost access to bow and longbow, so I don't think he has any ranged capability apart from his spells now. The captain and the youngblood have lost access to the handgun. Now, I don't recall the captain ever having a handgun, but that might just be my memory failing. Damage and bonus damage has been revised on all items, and all units should have a proper default items in their second weapon set when a warband is created, as long as they have a second weapon set, unlike, as example, some of the larger units don't. And one for the Skaven out there, Skaven claws can now parry.
Now there is some really cool like little things as well. The combat changes with one-handed. You now get an increased 10% to dodge, 10 plus 10 initiative.
If you have only a one-handed weapon and nothing in your offhand. So it's up from 5 initiative to 10% chance to dodge and 10 initiative.
So, for example, this wouldn't count.
Yeah, because he's got a shield in his offhand, or if you have another weapon in your offhand, also that would negate it. So,
That counts.
yes, so your offhand must be empty.
Dual wielding damage dealt with all attacks is reduced by 33%. That's on all attacks. Increase cost of attack by 1 OP after the first one. That's non-stackable though.
Yeah, that used to be stackable previously because it was tiring. That's now just any attacks after the first one are just increased by 1 cost.
Two-handed has increased the cost of attacks by 1 OP after the first one, same as before. Reduced damage of all attacks by 20% after the first one, but these are stackable. So the more you swing it, the harder it gets. But obviously it's a two-handed weapon, you're only going to be swinging it a couple of times, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The only thing about that might be the ogre, but I think he ignores that because he's an ogre. Yeah, because the ogre ignores the tiring rule, so that might make him ignore that. And obviously firearms are still increasing the cost of attacks by 1 offensive point. That was in before.
It says tiring for him, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be something you can change with skills and stuff.
If you look at his skills, he should have a passive ability to ignore tiring. Passive skills, save it up. I don't know if you. Maybe that is a skill you can learn.
Yeah, might be something you can learn. Obviously, like I said, there's a lot of differences coming in. There is obviously a few new fixes and like some still like quite a few known issues and stuff like that, but they usually what they do is they try and bring out one big content update every month, and then they bring out a sort of patch to try and sort of fix some more of the stuff. And
this seems to be both in one.
Still absolutely loving the game though, and can't wait to actually get a match on the go with these new settings.
Yep.
So
I'll definitely have to see if my rats can get their revenge now that they're ranked up.
Yeah, like that's going to happen.
Them's fighting words.
Okay, there you have it though, folks. Quick talk through with the new patch notes, and we'll bring you
hopefully some Skaven taking their revenge for the rat kebab incident.
That was a bit of a creaming. Quite literally.
Yeah.
Smushed rats! Okay, thanks for watching, folks, and catch us later.